Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being a part of our community. Welcome to the August video update from the board. Want to jump right into this. We have a lot to cover today. As we near the beginning of the school year starting, want to wish a hearty welcome back to school to all of our students in the community and in the neighborhood, and hope that everybody is getting back into their routine schedule and getting ready for returning back to school. So we have lots to discuss today. I want to review real quick our top priorities. Once again, our top priorities are really four big items for the rest of the year. Number one, landscaping. Number two, legal issues. Number three, the committees. And number four, Office 365 implementation. So let's begin with a landscaping update. So just to give everybody an update on the landscaping situation, we have finalized the request for proposal that we will be distributing hopefully this week. We had to submit a public information request to the city to obtain a copy of the master irrigation plan for our community so that we could include in the bid as well for reference. So we're just waiting to get that document back from the city. We hope to receive it today. I personally spoke with the secretary actually a few minutes ago, and she thinks that it should be posted either today or tomorrow. So we'll be able to get that, and then we'll be issuing the bid out to various landscaping companies. In case you're wondering, the landscaping companies that we have selected, we obtained a list by reaching out to all of the HOAs and property management companies for the communities in Frisco. And we have compiled a pretty good, what we think is a pretty good list of landscaping companies that we will be sending out the bid to. I think it ranges from companies that are pretty big, well-known names, all the way down to mom and pop. So I think we're going to get a pretty good cross-section of bids. And by issuing this bid, by the way, we're required, starting in September, we are now going to be required to issue bids whenever there's a contract that is in excess of $50,000. So in anticipation of the fact that this may be a very expensive contract, we are issuing a bid for the landscaping services. This bid will have three different contracts in it. One of them will be for the removal of the dead bushes. Second will be for the ongoing care and maintenance of our common areas. And third will be the redesign of our common areas and perimeters. So just a couple of notes here so that everybody is kind of aware of what the board's approach and strategy is here. Because what we don't want is for people to be surprised and just start, criticizing and, all of this kind of stuff. So thinking about the implementation of all of these contracts, right? The city has given us basically a 2 to 3 year plan to execute on all of this. We thankfully have gotten an extension of the dead bush removal. They want the bushes removed by the end of this year. Previously, they had given us until October. We requested an extension, and they did grant it. And so we will have until the end of this year to remove the dead bushes from the perimeter areas and common areas. Now, thinking about that, landscaping company comes in, removes the bushes, now what? We now have flower beds that are completely torn up, irrigation that's completely torn up. So we've got to figure out what we're going to do once they remove the bushes, between the time that they remove the bushes to the time that we redesign the landscaping. So what we are going to do is we are planning, and by the way, we have also asked for the city landscaper to please chime in with any concerns on this. So this actually isn't even confirmed yet, but we've asked them last week to please confirm that they would be good with us removing the dead bushes and replacing that area currently with sod so that we can have a nice clean look between now and the time that we implement the redesign for the landscaping perimeter areas. As you can imagine, we cannot afford to just pay for all of this to be done at once. So hence the reason why we have a 2 to 3 year plan. The city has asked that we submit our plan by next summer for the redesign of the common areas, and then implementation. They would want us to submit an implementation plan to them at some point after that. So we have a lot of time, but it's going to go by fast. So we want to make sure that we get these bids in so that we can start planning and start thinking through the best way to implement these changes. So we feel that this is the best way to address the dead bushes effectively without leaving our perimeter outer areas looking terrible between now and the time that we actually implement the new changes. Okay, legal changes. So there's a lot of legal changes coming effective in September. We have already sent our list of priorities and questions to our new attorney. I will tell you, our new attorney is already shaping up to be very responsive, which is very good. We sent them a copy of the bid for landscaping last week and asked them to respond within 2 weeks, and they responded overnight. So that is great. So we're happy about that. We have a long list of items that they're going to help us address. All of our aged violations, collections, and everything have been transferred to the new attorney. We also have a list of items that include updates to policies. We're going to have them review our dedicatory instruments to make sure that we are in full compliance with Texas property code, as well as the policies. We also have some additional questions outside of that related to ACCs and things like that that we need to address as well. So more to come on that. Committees. So with committees, we have lots of happenings on the beautification committee. We did have a yard of the month last month, so we're happy to see that kicking back off. We are already accepting yard of the month nominations for next month. So if you do have any, if you have a neighbor or somebody, or maybe it's your own home that you'd like to have put your name in the hat for consideration for yard of the month, please submit that to villawb at sierramail.com and just put yard of the month on the subject line and just put the address on there. Put some pictures too if you'd like to take some pictures and kind of feature what you think is great and all of that. Please go ahead and submit those so that we can get those nominations in for next month. The welcoming committee has been super active lately. We have a meeting scheduled, I think tonight actually, to go through the welcome packet to make sure it is fully up to date, and then we'll be starting to resume welcoming committee activities. Social events has been a little bit stagnant. We're hoping to see some more activity popping up on this soon. So please, if you're interested in being in the social committee or social events committee, please reach out to villawb or hit us up on Facebook and we'll get you directed in the right place. Satisfaction survey committee. So we would love to see some help on this one as well. We have a couple of people involved in this committee. However, it's proving to be a little bit of a longer process to review the results and translate them into a presentation. So we would definitely appreciate if you have some skills with PowerPoint and such, and you'd be willing to donate some of your time in reviewing the results of the survey and helping us put together some slides that we can use for our presentation. That would be great. Please hit us up on Facebook or just send an email to villawb at sierramail.com and just put on there satisfaction survey and indicate that you want to help with that committee, and we'll get you put in the right place. As far as the Atmos committee, there is nothing else really to report at this time. We will be discussing this. It is on the list with our attorney to just kind of touch on and figure out if there's anything we need to do from that perspective on the legal side. We will be putting together a non-disclosure agreement as well for the committee members, so that might be the next kind of thing that comes out of our meeting with our attorney. And then photography. We had put out there that we wanted to see a photography committee come together. We would love, I know we have several people in the community that love to take pictures, that have drones and are taking aerial pictures. We would love to have y'all volunteer. We recently had a landscaping seminar a couple of weeks ago. We would love to have somebody come out to events like that to take pictures that we could post, and that would be great. Again, hit us up on Facebook so we can get you directed to the right place, or you can send an email to villawb@ciramail and just put photography committee in the subject line and indicate that you would like to volunteer, and we'll get you plugged in. Our next priority is Office 365. We are in the middle of testing that, and also we are writing procedures as well for the implementation of Office 365. Tom on the board has been leading that effort. He is on a temporary leave from the board, taking care of some personal things. So we hope to have him back within the next couple of weeks, and then we'll be able to resume testing and finalize the procedures related to Office 365. This is a very important item for us this year, and to help us get organized and make sure that we stay on task. So this is going to help us and position us for success into the future. Some reminders. Again, ACCs. So one of the big changes that is coming with the legislative changes effective in September is that none of the board members are allowed to be on the ACC committee. So we will have no choice but to create a committee for ACC requests. This is critical. We need people who are willing and able to spend the time to learn and read the bylaws and CC&Rs and truly understand the purpose and the spirit of the CC&Rs so that they can complete ACC requests accurately and consistently across the board. So if you are interested in volunteering for the ACC committee, we need a minimum of 3 to 5 people for this committee. Anything more than 5 will probably be too much. So 3 to 5 is really what we're looking for. And our board's desire and commitment has been since the beginning of the year to have the entire ACC request queue cleared out, or at least all of them addressed by the end of each weekend. Ideally Saturday, but I think we end up going into Sunday sometimes. And as far as how much time this takes, I would say each ACC request, depending on the type of request that it is, could take anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes to address each. Sometimes it might require you to go and refer to the CC&Rs just to see what the CC&Rs say versus what the ACC request is saying. And in those cases, it could take a little bit longer for you to read through. And if you want to ask questions, amongst the team, then that may make it take a little bit longer. ACC requests, the board has, or the committee has 30 days from the date of receipt to address the ACC request. Therefore, you don't have pressure per se to get them done every single week. However, as a courtesy to our neighbors and people who are trying to get work done and scheduled, it's important that we get them done as soon as possible. Next, so if you're interested in volunteering for the ACC committee, please let us know. Send an email to villawb at ciramail.com and indicate that you are interested in volunteering for the ACC committee, and we will get you plugged in as soon as possible. This is a new requirement, so RealManage is more than likely going to be making some changes as well to how they do ACC requests. Remember, we're not the only community that they handle within the state of Texas. So it is possible that they may end up rolling out a service where they can address our ACC requests. This may or may not be a benefit to us. So, and it may or may not lead to additional expenses. So we've really got to get on this, and we got to get on it very quickly because it's now August and September is right around the corner. All right, a couple of more reminders. Drive Up Appeal, people, please take pride in your home. Be going out at least every 2 weeks and looking at your house from the front to see if there's anything that needs to be addressed. We are driving through all the time, and we are seeing many houses where it's just clear that people are just not taking care of their gardens. They're not taking care of things on their home. We're seeing things from cracked bricks in flower beds to cracked bricks around trees. We're seeing grass that's 10, 12 inches high. We're seeing flower beds that are completely full of grass. These are things that just look unsightly. They look terrible. If you're unable to take care of it, then look at companies out there. There's tons of companies out there that will come in and clear out your flower beds on a periodic basis. Talk to a neighbor, talk to a teenager. If you have college-age kids, I'm sure they would appreciate the gas money if you would pay them to pull all the grass out of your flower beds. These are things that are little things on your list that may not matter, but to other people it matters, right? So be aware of your lawn, be aware of your flower beds, be aware of your hedges. If you've got hedges, if you're a corner lot and you have hedges that are completely out of control, those things need to be trimmed. They do. It needs to look good. We want this neighborhood to be, we want the market values to be maintained. We want people who are driving through the neighborhood to be proud to live here. We want people who are looking to live here to be impressed. So we understand that our perimeter areas need help. We're working on it. But our process is going to be much more complicated and much more expensive to coordinate than your own. You can help us by taking care of your own home. So keep that in mind. We will be letting the inspector know that we've noticed a lot of this, and the inspector's responsibility is to go out there and make sure that we are submitting violations where violations are due. So you don't want to get a violation. Nobody likes getting violations. So just get out there and get it done. And then lastly, really just, keep in mind when you're using the amenities, the pools, the spray park, if you're moving chairs and furniture and things, no problem. Do what you got to do. But when it's time for you to go, if you could please make sure that you put the chairs back where they belong, put them back nice and in order. If you had trash, please make sure that you put your trash in the trash receptacle, that it makes its way into the trash. If you brought floaties and the floaties broke, put the floaties in the trash or take them with you. I would say approach it with a leave no trace kind of mentality, kind of like when you go camping, right? The expectation is that you leave no trace that you were even there. That would help everyone else have a more enjoyable experience at our amenities. And so that's the request that we have there. All right. Well, we thank you for being in our community. We thank you for your time. If you are the ones that are participating in committee work, if you're interested in volunteering, please let us know. We would love to see you more engaged. We would love to see more people attending our meetings. And as a reminder, we meet on the last Wednesday of every month. On the last Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. via Zoom. The Zoom app is free. You can download the Zoom app for free on Android or Apple. If you could please make sure that you put your name when you join the meeting so that we know who you are. And we hope to see as many people as possible attend the board meetings, because this is the best way for you to be up to speed on what's going on in the community. Thank you, and we hope to speak to you again soon. Thank you.